Welcome to Shaggyshane's Kansas City Chiefs post-draft talk. Sunday, April 29th, 2018. Cheers to you. It's been an exciting offseason. Here we go. Let's talk these Kansas City Chiefs draft picks, baby. Chiefs traded up from 54 to 46 to get outside linebacker Breeland Speaks out of Ole Miss. In the first pick of the third round, the Kansas City Chiefs select Derek Naughty. I don't know if he's naughty or nice. We're soon to find out. The last pick of the third round, the Kansas City Chiefs pick Dorian O'Daniel, linebacker out of Clemson. He's kind of a tweener between a linebacker and a safety. The fourth round, Armani Watts, steal. What a steal. Safety out of Texas A&M. The kid's got a lot of spunk to him. The kid's freaking got a lot of raw athletic ability that he's going to be a stud. Look for him to compete with Daniel Sorensen for that safety position. And don't be surprised if he gets that job. Oh yes, you know we'll watch that closely at training camp. In the sixth round, the Kansas City Chiefs took Tremont Smith, cornerback out of Central Arkansas. And in the last in the sixth round, the Kansas City Chiefs took Khalil McKenzie, guard out of Tennessee. He's a defensive player that's going to be moved to guard. He's the general manager of the Oakland Raiders' son. He's going to be a work in progress. He may be a couple years to play because he's a defensive player that's going to be learning to play offense. All right, let's talk about this. Breeland Speaks was not in our mock draft, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a lot of what's the word I want to look for? As Andy Reid says, you can't keep him on the ground. There's not any film of him on the ground. You can't get him on the ground. He's got a lot of lower body strength. He's got a lot of push. He can push the tackles back to penetrate the defensive line. He's not a speed guy. In my mock draft, I thought we'd probably try to get Alonzo Carter or Uchenna Nwasu, who went the pick after that to the Chargers. But the Chiefs like the fact that he's strong. They're going to use him on the end. At least that's what Brett Veach has said at his press conference. They're going to use him on the end to press. They're going to use him on the end on the 3-4. But when they go in the nickel, he's going to go outside. With the third pick, Derek Naughty. This kid was hyped. Nose tackle, 6'2", premier nose tackle. The kid is a stud. The kid was getting a lot of hype from a lot of experts. Really love the kid.
You have goals and dreams, like travel.
Looking at the next pick was basically the stud of the draft. Everybody knows Armani Watts, the safety out of Texas A&M. He's an all-or-nothing guy, which basically why he slipped to the fourth round. He can make plays happen. He's physical. He's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of want to. He's a guy I'm going to watch to be a key contributor in the 2018 season. Tremont Smith, cornerback, 6th-round pick out of Central Arkansas. We're going to have to wait and see. Khalil McKenzie, like I said, it's going to be a while. He's going to be a real work in progress because, like I said, he played defensive line. He played nose tackle at Tennessee. Now he's going to be playing guard. That's going to be a 2-year work in progress. Am I happy about these players? Sure, because they're building it. It's like if you said, all my house needs is some new windows and a new roof and it'll be all right. But instead, you find out you're just going to have to they're going to have to start basic at the bottom, brick by brick, laying the foundation. That's what Brett Veach is doing because the Chiefs need outside linebacker help. They need speed on the outside. They still got Justin Houston. They still have D Ford, who's injury prone. Yeah, he had 10 sacks 2 years ago. And they still have Tano Passanio, who they used on a second-round pick last year as an outside linebacker. Let's break down that outside linebacker positions, how it looks now. It looks like Justin Houston, D Ford. Their backups will be more than likely Breland Speaks and Tano Passanio. Frank Zombo can't be on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Zombo cannot be on the field at all whatsoever. We saw him he got pancaked on the final play against the Tennessee Titans by the quarterback. Marcus Mariota pancaked Frank Zombo, so he can't be on the field in 2018. So Breland Speaks has got to come in and challenge D Ford, Tano Passanio, and don't forget about Daddy Nicholas. I like Breland Speaks, Derek Nottie, and Dorian O'Daniel to be key contributors in the 2018 season. Where the Chiefs are weak right now, folks, let's call it like it is. The Chiefs are weak at corner. Last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, without Eric Berry, were the 30th ranked defense with Marcus Peters. Now Marcus Peters is gone. In the last two drafts, the Chiefs have ignored drafting a good corner up up top. Let's just call it like it is. There's a lot of experts were saying in the last two drafts, this is a cornerback heavy draft, and the Chiefs ignored them. And now Marcus Peters is gone, Terrence Mitchell is gone, Philip Gaines is gone, Darrelle Revis is gone. Those guys are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Philip Gaines sucked. Darrelle Revis was old. Philip Mitchell was decent. And Marcus Peters is another story that we've already talked about. While the Chiefs have gone above and beyond building the greatest offense on paper, this defense looks like it can be good, but there's still a gaping hole at cornerback. Let's look at the cornerbacks on the Kansas City Chiefs roster that we will be watching in training camp in late July. Will Redmond. Look for him. He's a second-year cornerback, or he's a third-year cornerback going into 2018. He originally entered the NFL as a third-round draft pick at the San Francisco 49ers. Will Redmond, look for him to challenge a cornerback. Keith Reeser, number 40. Look for him. Going into his fourth year, he signed to Kansas City Chiefs, the practice squad in September last year. Look for Keith Reeser to be a body or be a player to come in and challenge for some of these cornerback positions. And look for David Amerson. Here's the Marcus Peters replacement. David Amerson in free agency. The Chiefs picked him up from the Raiders. Let's look at him. In his career, he played with the Redskins and the Oakland Raiders. He had a pick six against Alex Smith in the last game of the 2015 season. He made a good move. So it's going to be David Amerson on one side, Steve Nelson on the other, and Kendall Fuller in the slot. These other names that I mentioned are just bodies that are going to come in and take over for Philip Gaines and Darrelle Revis and Terrence Mitchell. Another person that the Chiefs can look for his name is Prince Charles Iworha, number 31. He's a second-year corner, enters his first season with the Chiefs in 2018. He originally entered the NFL as a seventh-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers in the 2016 draft. You may ask, Shaggy, why are you mentioning these guys? We don't know who in the hell they are. The reason why I'm mentioning them, ladies and gentlemen, because these are our defensive backs. Steve Nelson. Let me see. The Raiders guy. David Amerson. David Amerson is playing on the outside. Steve Nelson's on the outside, and Kendall Fuller's our slot. With Keith Reeser, Will Redmond, and Prince Charles Iworha. His last name's spelled I-W-O-R-A-H, but I'm just going to call him Prince Charles because that's what he is here on the website. Prince Charles is going to take over for Philip Gaines. David Amerson's taking over for Marcus Peters. Keith Reeser's taking over for Terrence Mitchell. And Will Redmond is taking over for Darrelle Revis. Who are these guys? Those are secondary, folks. Those are our cornerbacks. Yes, Darian Watts, stud safety. Eric Berry, the man at safety. Those are the guys that are going to come in and be our secondary. Am I disappointed? Yes, because I know my followers, you've watched my mock draft. You saw me go mock draft heavy. Were any of those guys selected? No. Could they have been? Sure. But they weren't. I'm going to trust in Brett Veach because he's our general manager. So that's how we're going to break it down. I want to thank you for following me. There's going to be an acoustic draft recap from Lance Twidwell and Clay Windler that we did immediately following the first 2 draft picks Friday night from Breland Speaks and Derek Noddy. That's going to be on my YouTube page later on tonight. So look for that acoustic draft recap from Clay Windler of Red Tribe Cinema and Lance Twidwell of The Spoken. We break down the first 2 Chiefs draft pick, unplugged acoustic. Tune into my YouTube later on this evening to see that performance. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned about our corners, as I mentioned. I hope that there's some more people that we can look into. Let's look at who the Chiefs picked up as their undrafted free agent rookies. Let's look at that. The Chiefs picked up cornerback Byron Fields out of Duke. Keep in mind, these are undrafted guys. Ryan Hunter, offensive line, Bowling Green. David Linton, defensive tackle. Chase Linton, quarterback out of Marshall. Blake Mack, fullback out of Arkansas State. Elijah Marks, wide receiver. J.D. Moore, fullback. Jimmy Murray, offensive line. Ben Neiman, linebacker, Iowa. Byron Pringle, wide receiver, Kansas State. Dante Sawyer. DeMontre Wade, corner. Darrell Williams, running back. We're going to have to see how these guys play, what goes on in training camp. But ladies and gentlemen, that is your Shaggyshane draft recap. I want to thank you for following me. Like I said, tune in later on to my YouTube page to see Clay Windler, Lance Twidwell, and myself, acoustic unplugged draft recap of the Kansas City Chiefs. First 2 picks. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about this team. I'm excited about the draft, the offensive players, the Chiefs, that Brett Veach has put together. The Kansas City Chiefs have the best offense on paper. How will they mesh going forward? We'll see. There could be some June 1st cuts. Stick with me again. As more Kansas City Chiefs news breaks, I will let you know. But I would give this draft a solid B-. B-. If these no-name defensive back corners hit that are currently on the roster that basically said, hey, you don't need to draft a corner because we got all these no-names, look for Prince Charles and company to deliver. All right? Until next time, this is Shaggyshane saying, go Chiefs.